Hello, welcome to Fantastical Magic Tarot. My name is Andrea. We are doing a reading today asking, what is your greatest skill? Okay, and today we're not going to flip cards over to draw you in. I really am hoping you can just go by your intuition. And I did also place a stone on each pile if that gives you a little extra help. So the first stone for group number one is a rhodonite. Sorry about my little scratch on my thumb there. And then we've got lepidolite for group number two. And then we've got rose quartz for group number three. Okay. So I'm going to be quiet for just a second and let you have a chance to look at the cards with your intuition. And then I will put timestamps in the description box below. And before I do give you that moment of silence, I do have a free reading contest. If you would like to enter that, just subscribe to the channel, like and comment on the video, and comment the word specifically free reading in the comment box below. And then I draw every month for that. Okay. But here is your moment of silence to choose your pile. Okay, see you in your reading. Hi, group number one. Welcome to your reading. Thanks so much for being here. I'm very happy to do this reading for you today. You chose this rhodonite. We'll put it over here and we'll look at this card. So you got the card number 25 and it says, release the dark wound. Let love live. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays into the message about what your greatest skill is. I did pre-shuffle for some cards, and then I'm going to do more tarot during the reading. So your first, where do I want to start? Yeah, let's start here. So you got Wealthy Man is your first oracle. That's actually a Kipper card. And then you've got, this is an astrology oracle card. So this is Saturn in Cancer with charity. Then you've got card number 16 with Get Carried Away. And then you've got She Who Is Wild, Sauvage, Untamed, Wild and Mysterious. And then your last oracle, and you know what? I'm going to move this around a little bit. So let's just show you your last oracle, and then I'm going to pause the video to fix this. You've got the three of, well, this is a tarot card, but I'm using it like an oracle right now because this is not a very traditional deck. So this is the Three of Swords or the Three of Arrows, and this says jealousy on there. So let me just pause the video so I can get this spread out a little bit better. Okay, I think that's better. And then I can put all your tarot down here. So that's great. Okay, what am I seeing so far? So far, let's start with your main card, okay? This card talks about, yes, love, and staying true to what you love and not letting any wounding, any of the darkness in the world sort of interfere with that love. But it also talks about like perseverance and staying true to yourself, staying true to what you love. Yeah, it's just like this energy of like authenticity and just staying true to that. And even though it can be a tough journey, you know, sometimes you can feel at odds or not supported in your journey. But this talks about like, perseverance and staying true to yourself and always being authentic and not letting things, weigh you down. not letting things drown out your love and light. So there's that message there. And I'm kind of picking up on this out of all of that. One of the big things I'm picking up on is this sort of perseverance, dedication kind of message. And this message about not letting hard things weigh you down or stop you. I feel kind of an unstoppable kind of energy here. So let me go through the other cards and explain to you how this all is relating, or how all the messages that are speaking to this message I'm talking about. So you've got this Get Carried Away card here. You actually have a lot of cards about family here. This is like a mothering message. I guess not a lot of... Anyway, these two cards definitely speak about family. You can see, right? This is a mother with her children. And she's picking them up, like she's protecting them. Same thing here. You know, that same kind of energy. But I'll get back to that in a minute. But with this card, this Get Carried Away, this is like, this is a very, you can see this card. It's very ethereal, very magical, very soft, very feminine. But it's a very surrendered kind of energy in this card too. But they're floating above. This mom and her child is just like floating above the clouds. And I really get this kind of limitless energy from this card as well. It's like she's in between. She's outside of earthly possibilities right now. Outside of earthly possibilities. She's flying above the clouds, being carried by, you know, spirit or the universe or the cosmos or her own energy. You know, I'm not sure. And it looks like she's almost drifting into the cosmos. It's like the unlimited potential of the universe, the unlimited power of the universe. And completely surrendered to that. Rising, I get this message about rising above here too. Rising above the difficulties, the limitations, you know, all of that stuff. And that's why I think this 3 of arrows has shown up here with jealousy. I think you can rise above this stuff. Group number 1. You can rise above things like jealousy, these kinds of emotions. It's like you don't hold on to them that long. You may experience them, but they don't hold you down. They don't weigh you down. You know? So yes, I also feel like, yeah, you've got this wealthy man here. I think this card is here to indicate that this perseverance message that is coming through, it's like, and then all this messaging about family. I feel like this group, one of your biggest skills is like the persistence and perseverance to provide for your family, for yourself. I feel like people in this group are meant to really create some kind of abundance in their life, like your ability to create abundance here. But it's like, that's another skill that's coming through, but it's like the ability comes from this perseverance energy, this not being told what you can and cannot do. You know, you've got this wild, untamed energy. And it's like this woman here is, you know, she's going to the beat of her own drum. She might feel like she's, you know, like I said before, a little bit at odds maybe with some of the mainstream. She may get messages or told that she needs to settle down or what she wants is unrealistic. But like there's no taming this woman, right? And it's like, no, she's going to be authentically who she is. So yeah, that's another message coming through. One of your great skills here, group number 1, is your ability to be authentic. But this translates into so much more than just you just getting to be who you are, which is a beautiful gift. And most of us, that is a struggle. And you're like, some people may do it a little easier than others, but that can be a real struggle. Finding the confidence, the spirit, the energy, the faith, the boundaries with others, to be our own true selves, right? So that's a victory and a beautiful gift all in itself. That's a beautiful skill. But I feel like the skill part that's coming into this, because skills can be inherent and they can be learned also, right? So they can be something you just naturally have inherently within you, or they can be something you learn through your life. And I think you have this inherent skill of being able to like persevere. Like that's part of your nature, your spirit. And you have this call to be like authentically yourself, but you may have to learn that lesson through your life as well about how to be authentically yourself. But it is a skill, because I'm asking what skill you have right now. And at what stage of development is this skill? I don't know. Maybe different for different people. Maybe some of you are just starting to really be able to like own yourself and like just be who you are. And maybe some of you are in some stage of development of this skill. But the other skill that's coming through is the ability to this perseverance. It's like you're going to learn. The skill you have is like learning how to tap into that energy that you have and be able to shut other stuff out so that you can persevere, so that you can rise above. And I think the motivation for a lot of you here is about providing for your family or people you care about, or, I feel like that's a strong motivation here. I feel like this group is protective of what they love and who they love, which is also a skill, not, to be able to stand up for what you love, who you love. That's a skill. It's also an inherent thing, but you have to learn. Sometimes learning how to stand up for yourself is literally a skill that you have to learn. Like, how do you start setting boundaries? How do you speak in a way that you can stand up for yourself without getting overwhelmed? How do you act in a way that you're standing up for yourself where you don't get out of balance? It doesn't turn into aggression, All of those are skills. So it's definitely, that's really lovely. So those are the first messages coming through. I'm going to get tarot. What is pile number 1's? Didn't shuffle very nicely. What is pile number 1's greatest skill, please, Spirit? Pile number 1's greatest skill, please. Okay, let's get this for you. Pile number 1. What is their greatest skill, Spirit? 4 of Wands, family again. Foundation. I feel like you are like, you are like the rock, the foundation in something you're involved in, whether that's your family, something you're trying to build and manifest, something you're persevering through. It's like you are the anchor, you are the foundation. 100%. What is the greatest skill that group number 1 has? What is their greatest skill? Okay. This is so synchronistic. You got the 5 of Wands. It's like you can handle. Group number 1, you can handle conflict. It may not feel good, but you're suited towards it, okay? It's a skill that you have. You would be very good in terms of career, like any kind of conflict resolution. You'd be a great mediator, you know? 100%. Any career choice where you are mediating, resolving conflict, have to deal with something challenging and really have the patience and perseverance for it, you know, where that's needed, you know, you are suited towards that. And you've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is this other message about patience and perseverance. This is about you do things the right way. You understand that there's a process behind planting a seed and having to tend to it and waiting for it to grow and turn into like a full plant or whatever you were growing, right? Full tree. You understand that process. You see it all the way through this group. And that's why you have this wealthy man here. It's because when you can just not jump ship on something that you know is going to be productive, you know, you just have faith in that, or you just know because logically that's how it goes, right? Logically, that's how a seed or how a tree is grown. It starts with what did I just say? That's how a tree is grown. It starts with a seed, right? And you understand that whole process is very logical, right? You don't need a ton of faith for that. But it's like some people just don't have the patience. And sometimes seeds don't grow and you have to plant another one, right? And you're the type of person that's going to go plant another one if the first one doesn't grow. Like you see stuff through and it leads to like success and abundance. Very, very nice. Let's get another one. What is group number 1's greatest skill? 9 of Wands, yeah. Wounded warrior. You know, I do feel like this group, you probably have already gone through or are going through kind of long roads with stuff. I feel like when you have this kind of skill and energy and inherent gifts, I mean, they're going to be used, right? Like the universe, spirit, whatever, they're going to test you. They're going to use your gifts to be of benefit to yourself and others. And this is just like the long road, you know? This is the long road, but this is like a don't give up. Like you don't give up either. You really just, I feel like you're maybe, some people might call you stubborn, group number 1, but it's actually a gift. It's not a bad thing. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Maybe some of you do need to look at that. There is a fine line between dedication, perseverance, and being stubborn. You know, and I think that's just a check-in you have to do with yourself and listen to, you know, the universe gives us messages about when we need to let go and stop resisting, you know, so it's important to always be checking in and listening to the universe. But I really just feel like you're tough, group number 1. You're tough. You are tough, and that can be a burden. That can, you know, that you're probably going to have times in your life where you feel like you're getting towards burnout. I hope that you have good self-care or a good support system. I feel like with this kind of energy, you should have a good support system because you're like, I don't know. You're just like have this foundational, stable energy. Let's get one last card and then I'm going to close this out. Last message for group number 1. What is their greatest skill? Final message, group number 1. What is their greatest skill, please? For this, yeah. Another 4. Did I see another? Yeah, you've got 4, 4 and 4 here. 4s are that foundational, stable kind of energy, right? But you got the 4 of Pentacles here. This can be about, look, she's caring for her babies again. I just feel like you're very committed to people you love, group number 1. Anyway, maybe, yeah, this is this protective energy again. You're very protective, group number 1. That is a skill that you have. You know how to protect yourself and the people you love, especially. Just be careful though, you know, these readings are focusing on positive. I'm not reading into like shadowy aspects of these cards at all, because this is meant to be helping you understand, you know, who you are at your best and what are some of your strongest skills. So, but I just want to say, like I said before, needing to check in, you know, that you're not being stubborn versus being dedicated. But, you know, sometimes when we feel so protective, it can affect our mental health. It can affect, you know, we can end up being limited by that if we're, you know, just worried about things that aren't realistic. So I'm not going to get into that message too much. It's just a word of, I don't know, advice, caution, whatever. It's something for you to, another thing just for you to check in with yourself about, because you could easily slip into that, you know, when you have this, when you're so protective. But it's really, really, anyone that has you in their life, group number 1, definite gift. You are a gift to others, for sure. I just hope that you take good care of yourself, good care of your mental health and your body, okay? Because it takes a lot to be this, like, to really have this kind of energy of perseverance and dedication and protectiveness. So, but you can turn this, yeah, anything that you do that you really believe in and you persevere through it, it is, you know, you can use this skill to really build abundance in your life, whatever that means for you, for sure. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope it was helpful. If it was, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, group number 2. If you chose this lepidolite, let's put it over there. Let's look at your card. I had to cover it up. I always have to cover up cards that, you know, for YouTube rules, and I'm happy to do that. But yeah, you don't get to see the full picture here, but I so hope you can see enough of this image. This is a really powerful image. And it's card number 32, Faith in the Process. Yeah, I love this card. So we'll see how that ends up translating into what is your greatest skill. And I have pre-shuffled for some cards, and then we'll get more tarot at the end. I'll just shuffle and do that right during the reading. So your first card is Expectation. This is a Kipper card. Expectation. And you actually got 2 of these. I don't think the other groups got 2. You have the first card is Empathy. This is an astrology oracle. So this is the moon in Pisces. And then you've got your other one is Exaltation. This is the moon in Taurus. You got a lot of 2s here. Every card has a 2 in it so far. Anyway, you got 4. Anyway, Answer the Call. Answer the Call. And I'm actually going to put this one down here. Move these over. Answer the Call. And then you've got Zenith. She who prepares, formulates, strategize, devise. Interesting. And then the last one, this is actually a tarot card, but it's not a traditional tarot, so I kind of use it like an oracle. So this is card 14 with Balance. So this would be Temperance in a traditional tarot. Okay. I definitely, a lot of the messaging here that I am seeing, I mean, there's a few things coming through here, but before I get your tarot, I'm going to get into that. So the first thing is that there's this energy with these 3 cards, this, your initial one, this expectation card, and this answering the call. There is, even with balance, actually almost even this zenith. Anyway, okay, so what I'm saying, there's this energy of your ability to tap into the unseen. I feel like this group here, one of your skills is like you have a strong sense of things a lot. I think your inner knowing, your connection with the divine, with whatever faith you have, is very strong. Okay, and I think, yeah, there's a very strong spiritual energy here in this group, right? So you've got this woman here, it's like, obviously, she's praying, and she's naked. She is vulnerable, right? She is vulnerable. And when we talk about duality, and how everything is also, there's a duality to everything, and there's also a unity and a oneness to everything, right? 1 and 2 are the same. 1 + 1 = 2, like that whole thing. And you've got 2 here. That's so interesting. You got so many 2s. Anyway, it's like the strength, what I'm getting is the strength that it takes to be vulnerable. And your strength comes from your faith, your sense of what is not known, what is not obvious, what is unseen. You've got the moon card. Like both of your astrology cards that came up are moon energy, which is hidden, the hidden. A lot of emotional energy here. Moons have to do with our emotions. Empathy is a sense, it's a feeling you have towards someone else. You can pick up on their energy, right? You can empathize with someone without seeing anything that's happened in their life or experiencing directly itself, right? You just pick up on that energy, you sense it. You can feel it even though it didn't happen to you. So I feel like really your group number 2, I feel like this group is very sensitive. Okay. Which can be a burden and a gift at the same time. I'm one of those people. I'm very sensitive as well. I have learned through skills. It's taken learning for me to be able to have energetic boundaries, emotional boundaries. But that didn't come naturally to me. And I don't think it comes naturally to you either. And it's very interesting that we have this naked image. I mean, not totally naked because I covered it up like I'm supposed to, but she is in the card normally. She's new, she's extremely vulnerable. And then we've got this image with armor. She is armed. She is not vulnerable. Again, this duality here, this strength and vulnerability. And when we talk about preparation, we are talking about sort of understanding what isn't known yet, right? When you plan, you're like thinking about the possibilities. Excuse me, you're thinking about the possibilities, you're thinking about what could happen, what's the best course forward, but none of that has happened yet. It's all unseen, it's all hidden. Again, this message of duality. Look, you've got I think this is fire and air here, energies. Balance is about temperance, is about alchemy. I feel like this group is actually, you have I don't know where you would be at in terms of where you're at in the development of this skill, but you definitely have it right now or it wouldn't be coming up. But maybe for some of you, you could develop it further. Some of you may just have this strong skill right now, but I think a lot of you, most of you, I'm going to say all of you, have this skill about being able to balance this sensitivity, this strong sense that you have of the unseen, of the hidden. I think some of you are probably very psychic in whatever way that you're psychic, you know. I feel like a lot of you, it's a feeling, like you have a sense, you can just feel, you know, what's there even though you can't see it, you know. But I feel like, yeah, a lot of you have this skill of balancing that energy, this sensitivity, with like being able to put on armor when you need to. How to use that. We're talking about alchemy here. How to use that, this sort of untangible gift that you have. It's not anything anyone else can visibly see. But you have this ability to use it. To create the tangible. Like there's a strong manifestation energy here. I don't even know if that's the right word. But you have this exaltation. So this is the moon in Taurus. Taurus is about security. It's an earth sign, right? It's about the material. The things you can see. Look, you've got all this abundance in this card. All this fruit. Yeah. It's a very strong, abundant energy in this card. So it's like, yeah, this is meant to translate into your material world somehow. This is this is really lovely. Let's get tarot. Let's just get tarot and see more about what your greatest skill here is. You have just this really strong skill of sensing things, sensing other people's energy, sensing kind of what's going to happen, or sensing the real meaning behind something. Like if someone says something, they didn't actually say what they mean, like you can just sense it. You have a really strong connection to whatever. And again, this is something you have to answer the call, right? You have to be open to it and accept it. But this group, you have a strong spiritual ability, a strong ability to connect to, you know, your higher power, to spirits, to your higher self, like all of those unseen energies. You know, what I'm doing right now, I think this group would make great tarot readers. Really good tarot readers. Or anything where you're using your sense. It doesn't have to be tarot, but anything where you're just connecting into energies that are not seen. And if you don't have this, like if you hear me saying this and this is sort of resonating, maybe you just haven't totally opened up to it yet. But you have this skill in you. This is inherent. This is an inherent skill. Something you naturally just have. You didn't have to learn this skill. You just have it, but you can learn how to develop it further, okay? Okay, what is the greatest skill that group number 2 has? What is the greatest skill for group number 2? Yeah, see? The King of Cups. More emotional energy. It's like, yeah, the empathy. You have such strong ability to empathize, pick up on other people's emotions, feelings. This group, I was just going to say, I have my own history, and so I'm bringing my own bias into this, but I have a history as a social worker. I have just taken a leave from that career, and well, some time ago now, and I'm just working on, you know, transitioning. But I was gonna say, I feel like this group would make wonderful social workers, counselors, anything where you have to be able to really be sensitive to other people and be empathetic and kind. But the thing is, if you don't have if you can't put on this armor, which like I told you, I was not very good at historically, I'm much better now. But it can really like get to you and result in things like burnout and depression and all of that kind of stuff. So when you take on other people's energies too much. So I just say that with a word of caution. If you don't have the skills to have those boundaries and energetically detach, then you need those before you go into a really heavy emotional burdensome career, like, you know, nursing or social worker, or any of that, doctors, you know. Anyway, so, but you have this skill, okay? This is like this group, yeah. Really, really just beautiful, sensitive energy. Such a strong Pisces energy here. Okay, let's see. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to clarify. I'm going to clarify this Taurus energy here. Why is this Taurus energy here for group number 2? Four of Swords. Resting. Resting. Self-care. Let's get another one. Why is this Taurus energy here? The Devil. Okay, so we're talking about your greatest skill, and my intent with this reading was not to tap into like much shadow energy. Of course, if Spirit is screaming at me to tell you something, I'm going to tell you. But, so I just need to figure out if that's what Spirit is doing here. I need one more. Why is this Devil card here, Spirit? Why is the Devil card here? Why is the Devil card here? Why is this Devil card here? Three of Pentacles. This is another earthy energy. This is about building in the material world, building in the material sense, collaboration. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting like this message that there is, for some people here, that this emotional sensitivity, this great capacity for empathy, and this strong senses you have, really maybe can get in the way of your material world. It's like grounding is really important for this group, but more than that, like, you need to take rests. And like I said about, you know, the message I was giving you earlier about the boundaries, you know, it's so important for you, because I feel like for some of you, you could really get sucked into other people's energy and what's going on in the world. You just pick up on too much. You can feel and sense too much. And that this can actually get in the way of you enjoying this physical human life. Like, there's got to be, you know, like maybe some of you can tend to isolate. You're like, I don't want to be around anyone because I can feel them too much and I need to like just be away from people. And that's okay. You do that where you need to, but it can cross the line into this sort of devil energy where it's like you just cut yourself off, and it's like you have this potential to really build something in the material world, but it's like taking away from that because you don't have the energy left to do it. You don't have the capacity left to do it. Okay. Can we have another message here about why this Taurus? I just want to stick with this message for you. I feel like it's important. It's not really what I was expecting to do, but let's just go with it. What is, I have a better question. How can this skill, how can this emotional and psychic and spiritual capacity of group number 2, how can they use this in the material world? How can this skill for group number 2 play out in their material world? How can this play out in their material world, Spirit, for group number 2? Group number 2. Okay. First one we got out is the Two of Swords. I'm going to get another one. How can this play out? How can this skill of empathy, their strong emotional senses, spiritual senses, how can this play out in their material world, Spirit? How can this manifest in their material world, please, for group number 2? Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you've got the Two of Swords, you've got the Hermit, and you've got the Ace of Cups. Okay. So what Spirit is saying is you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice about, are you going to get overwhelmed by this thing that is actually a gift and a skill that you have? You have to like harness it, is the message here I'm getting. Like, you have this really strong gift of sensing. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. You know what I've said. You have this really strong gift here, okay, of all these senses. And you have to make a decision about if you're going to go into isolation and live your life that way and just be protecting yourself all the time because it's too overwhelming. You need balance here. You need a lot of balance in this, okay? You need to learn how to balance this energy with living your life as a human being, because you can have love, you can have relationships, you can have material success, but you have to choose it. It's a choice by you, and it's like you have to develop this skill of balancing this energy, of harnessing it. You need some control over this. I can relate to this. Okay, I told you I had to learn how. And like, I wouldn't be able to do these tarot readings because I pick up on a lot of energy. I'm also, my other business is health coaching. And again, you have to witness and support through a lot of suffering in these kinds of careers. And I wouldn't be able, this is more in alignment with than what I was doing before. So that's the first thing that helped me. So group number 1, I'm going to give you advice that I give my past self, okay? Because I feel like connected to this group. I feel like I can empathize with this group. And so the first thing is you find something that's in alignment for you, okay? You choose the people you are around, you choose the career that you're in, you choose things that are in alignment with you. Okay? Choose something that actually is going to give back to you, where you get some reciprocity. You can't always just be giving. And then you start practicing in the situations that you can, people that you can. Where do you start setting boundaries? When do you choose just, and I feel like with this Hermit energy, it is okay to choose to like not pick up the phone if you feel like you just can't handle it that day. Like, that's okay. But it's like, do you keep making that choice over and over again because you haven't learned this balance? So you start practicing with people. It's like, for me, I had to like, if I picked up the phone and someone told me something hard, someone that I love, I can feel their pain, and then I just want to do something to alleviate it. And for me, I had to get a real spiritual perspective on my journey versus other people's journey, my responsibility for my own life and other people's responsibility for their own lives. And I really had to develop my spiritual perspective on that stuff. I also ended up in a program called ACA, Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families, because not only my empathetic nature, A lot of my empathetic nature came from my childhood, but it's also like a spiritual gift that I have. And I had to learn how to set boundaries. And that program really helped me do it. So anyway, that's just some advice, okay? Something like that. You find what resonates for you, but you have to make a choice about, are you going to live your life? How are you going to use these skills? Where are you going to have boundaries with them? You know, but there's a lot of potential here. You got with this abundance card and this Ace of Cups and this Three of Pentacles. There's a lot of opportunity here for like a rich life, you know. Let's get a final message for you. What is the final message here for group number 2 about this beautiful skill that they have? What's the final message here for group number 2? Group number 2. Group number 2. Yeah. You got another ace. I love it. Ace of Pentacles. There's opportunity for you. Sorry, I thought I just heard somebody at the door. I had to pause the video. Anyway, there is opportunity here for you. Okay? Tons. Like, this is the energy. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. This is the potential, okay? The potential of abundance, the potential of love in your life. Okay? And this is the balancing energy of this strong King of Cups energy to this Queen of Swords. Again, this is just like being able to have those boundaries. Being able to, sometimes we need all of the energies. We don't just need our emotional energy. We need our mental energy too, right? Not letting the emotions mess with your mind. Okay. So really beautiful. I wish you all the best, group number 2. If this resonated, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello, group number 3. If you chose the rose quartz and this card here, let's look at it. Pandora's gift. Wow. Beautiful. Okay, let's see how that translates into your gift or your skill. We have some cards I pre-shuffled for, and then we'll do some more tarot during the reading. Your first one is main female. Then you've got risk. So this is a astrology oracle card. And so this is Saturn in Aries. Interesting. Okay. Risk. Then you've got engage your invisibles. Card number 19 there. And I'm not sure if I need to. I don't think I have to cover that up, but I might just in case, okay? And then we've got she who forgives. So this says elixir with remorse, guilt, forgiveness. Let me move this over. I keep forgetting that I want to put this card over here. And then we've got, so this is a tarot deck, but I'm using it right now like an oracle one because it's not traditional. So we've got although this one is a little bit more traditional. Anyway, it's card number 6. So this is the Lovers card in a traditional tarot, but it says the Forest Lovers here. And then let me just cover up this card and I'll put it back out. So yeah, let's see here. I'm going to just read these cards a bit before I get into your tarot. Okay, group number 3. There's a very wild kind of energy here and a really strong healing energy at the same time. Where do I want to start? Let's start with this one. No, sorry. I'm going to start with these two. Okay, so we've got Pandora's gift and risk here, and we've got Saturn in Aries. So, you know, I mean, the old, I don't know, I don't actually even know the exact story, but you know that term Pandora's box, right? Opening up Pandora's box. It's like opening up a can of worms, right? But I feel like this group here, I'm getting this energy of like in questioning. Like it's a risk to open up that box. It's like if you have Pandora's box in front of you and you know it holds answers and information and things, you know, that are important to the world or to yourself. You know, they're truths that need to be found. But you know, it's a risk opening up that box. I feel like this group, you would take that risk. I feel like this group, yeah, has the capacity for like great understanding of things that other people don't easily understand. I also feel a strong energy of like courage from this group. Look, you've got like a bear tamer here. But it's interesting. So Saturn and Aries. Aries, I'm an Aries, but I have I have more water in my chart than I do fire. But anyway, but I am, my sun sign is an Aries. And Aries can be very impulsive. They can be go-getter. They can, you know, they are risk takers. An aspect of Aries can be to be a risk taker, you know, but then you've got this more restrictive kind of energy of Saturn. So, you know, that's really interesting dichotomy, balance. This, I'm getting a balance energy from this Lover's card, but yeah, so I feel like one of your real strong gifts here, group number 3, is your courage. I feel like, yeah, you're not afraid of asking hard questions. You're not afraid of looking at things that are hard to look at. I feel like a lot of you could really be like leaders and lead the way in something, whatever, you know, you could be involved in. You've got this other card here, Engage Your Invisibles. This is very wild energy too, but this card is talking about an ability to, which is interesting. I mean, it's a completely different energy and reading here than group number 2, but there's a message here about being able to tap into, like, connect with your guides, connect with unseen forces. I'm getting this force energy. I feel like this, yeah. So there may be some, am I getting here? You have a lot of spiritual support. You have a lot of, because I feel like a lot of what you do, these people who kind of are not afraid to ask questions when things aren't okay. It's like, I feel like you're the person in the room that would ask a question that other people are thinking, but no one's brave enough to ask because there could be repercussions. It's risky to ask this question. And I feel like the universe really supports people like that. A lot of people like that end up going through hard times because there can be condemnation, there can be blowback, repercussions, you know, of being like that. But I feel like energetically, the universe does really support people like that because we need that for our evolution. We need people who are not afraid to go against people who are not afraid to go against the grain, people who are not afraid to be unique or ask the hard questions, like I said. And so I feel like, yeah, I just feel like this is an energy of support for you here. And you have an ability to connect, if you chose to, with your guides, with the universal energy that's supporting you. And then let's get to this card that I was really drawn to at the beginning. This, getting a few things from this She Who Forgives card. I mean, she's holding an elixir, and that's the name of the card. Elixirs are there for healing, right? They're like herbal preparations. So maybe some of you in this group are healers. You know, maybe some of you really got the forest. Well, this whole deck is about forest. But yeah, I feel like a lot of you might be very skilled at like understanding herbs and their properties, understanding like the synergies that exist out in nature and among things that we can use to heal us, you know, herbs and foods, and you understand the properties of these things, or you easily could gain that skill. But regardless though, there's definitely some of you in this group are healers. But with this forgiveness message, I am getting a very strong feminine kind of energy here, even though it's like there's like this wild kind of energy. You've got the main female here. And what I'm really getting from that is like a divine feminine energy. But then you've got this, I feel this balance between divine feminine and masculine here in this card. Yeah, I feel like this group here has a lot of healing to offer other people. I feel like one of your skills is like, you're very good with people one-on-one. Okay. I feel like you're very good with people one-on-one. You really can help people understand themselves better. Like this group would make great, like, therapists or you just make such a great partner, you would make a really wonderful, like, romantic partner, or just someone lovely to, a really good best friend, a really good daughter, a really good mother. It's like, yeah, I just feel like you have the capacity for like deep relationships. But with this feminine energy and there's a lot of balance energy here, Saturn and Aries, and then we've got male and female energies here, and we've got this strong, wild energy, and then we've got this more gentle, sensitive, healing energy here. There's a lot of balance in the energies in these cards, and I feel like that's like this. I feel like you have a lot of tact, actually, in the way that you go about risk taking. It's like this group, if you were going to challenge something or someone, you wanted to ask a hard question, I feel like you have the ability to have a lot of tact in how you do it. You don't do it in an aggressive way that gets somebody's back up. You do it in a way where someone feels like compelled to answer you, even if it's a hard answer, because you had so much tact in how you approach it. That sort of energy. It's like this questioning, inquisitive, like quest for deeper understanding that I feel like this group is done with like a softer energy, even though the intent behind it is to, like, you want to dig. I feel like this group wants to dig a lot. You want to dig into people. You want to dig into you're a group who asks why a lot is kind of what I'm getting. Why? Why are you like this? Why is this like this? Why is the world like this? I feel like you're very inquisitive, but the way that you go about it is, has like a feminine touch to it, a little more tact, a little more gentleness. Like you can really, and which is like probably very effective, actually, very effective, rather than being aggressive or, wheelbarrow your way through things. So it's very, very interesting. I'm just going to get tarot here, okay? Let's get tarot. And we'll ask, what is your greatest skill? Let's get more about these messages that have come through so far. What is pile number 3's greatest skill, Spirit? What is their greatest skill? Tell us more here, please, for group number 3. What is their greatest skill? What's flipped over there? Okay. I think that's what we'll start off with. Okay, so this, look at this. You got the Lovers twice. Your ability to connect with other people, group number 3. A real strong skill there in connecting with other people. Really getting to the heart of the matter, getting to the heart of other people. You've got the Nine of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Death card. So the Nine of Swords showing up here because we're asking what is your greatest skill. I feel like this is saying, yeah, that because normally the Nine of Swords is like, just like a lot of mental suffering, a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, a lot of overthinking, a lot of like, when you're in the Nine of Swords energy, you can really like imagine things that aren't really there, imagine threats that aren't really there. You know, you get really kind of paranoid sometimes. Just fearful, you know, fearful is a better word for it. I feel like this group, you have the ability, I just feel like you're brave. Like you're really brave. Some things that seem scary, like you can address it. You can deal with it head on. You don't create these like illusionary situations in your mind, even when there's scary things around you. It's like you have an ability to stay level-headed. And you've got this Knight of Wands, which is talking about your ability to go after what you want. There is this strong, fiery energy here about going after. I feel like some people in this group, like, I was going to use the word torpedo, but that's way too aggressive for your energy. No, it's just like an arrow. It's like you go after what you want to know, what you want to understand, what you want to develop. If you want, you know, if you have somebody you want, it's like you go after it. You really go after getting to know them in their entirety. So it's a little bit of intense energy here. A little bit of intense energy, but like a really beautiful intense energy. It's like intent. I don't know. It's so interesting. It's like there's intensity here. It's like you know when to back off. You know when to have tact. You know when to attract in rather than just going after as well. Like there's this very nice balance here as well. And this death energy, this is rebirth energy, which is interesting. I'm going to clarify that one. Why has the death card come out for group number 3? Why is the death card here? Ace of Cups. Starting over. Starting over. Resilient. Know how to turn, like, you know, the ashes of something into something beautiful and new again. It's like you know how to reconstruct things is kind of what I'm getting for this group. But there's a lot of energy here about relationships, connections. Can we clarify these lovers cards? Why is so much lover energy coming up for group number 3? The World. You know what I'm getting? This is really interesting. I feel like this group, you're like, I don't know, some of you in this group are like, have a lot of relationships. That's what I'm getting. I feel like people in this group, you might be like a lover, group number 3. And I feel like you have so much you really are a gift to people that get to really connect with you because you help them understand themselves more. You help them heal. You know? Like you have this strong interpersonal skill here at group number 3. And I feel like, you know, you're kind of meant to share that with a lot of people. So maybe you end up having a lot of different kinds of deep relationships. maybe just one at a time. You know, I feel like I don't know, some of you might be able to just engage in this kind of intensity with another person, multiple people at once, or some of you it's just like once one relationship is over, it's like there's a renewal and you're meant to have more relationships. And this doesn't have to be romantic. This could be just, friendships. I feel like you would be this way with someone you met at your work, you know, like you could just really develop deep friendships with people you work, or even if you don't even perceive it that way. It's like, I think you're the kind of person other people don't forget. They're like, oh, I met this person and they asked me this one deep, weird kind of question about myself. And it really got me thinking about myself. And it really made me understand myself different. It really kind of changed some of the decisions I was making. Like, I feel like you are a person that comes into people's lives and changes the course of their lives, changes their understanding of themselves, brings healing to them. And to you, it might seem insignificant sometimes. Like, you may not even realize the impact that you have on others. Yeah. Okay, let's get another one. What is group number 3's greatest skill, please? What is group number 3's greatest skill? Group number 3, their greatest skill, please. What is this message here? What is group number 3's greatest skill, please? Okay. Yeah, exactly. 5 of Cups, 3 of Cups. I get this very strong renewal energy here. But here's the relationships. Here's the community. I feel like this group would be really good at community building, bringing people together, celebrating, helping people realize the things that they need to celebrate is what I'm getting here. It's like people who are kind of stuck in disappointment, people who are grieving. It's like you bring some renewal to them. Help them find gratitude. Help them understand themselves better, understand their lives better, find reasons to celebrate in their life. Yeah, so group number 3, to summarize, your greatest skill is your interpersonal skill. Okay? It's your interpersonal skill. You bring healing, forgiveness. Look, we've got this card about grief and then forgiveness. Yeah, I think you can help people understand how to forgive, how to heal, understand themselves better, see the bigger purpose in things in their lives better, bring people together better. Yeah, which is just, it's such a beautiful gift. This renewal energy is so strong here. Your ability to dig deep is strong. But I feel like, this group is, I don't know if you're very charismatic or you just can connect with people on such a level that, they don't forget you. You really bring healing. So you need to use this. I don't know, this is the kind of skill you can use everywhere you go. You can use this in your workplace. You can use this to build a career. You would make like the best coach. You'd make the best coach in any kind of area where you could coach. Anything you have some know-how about, you could coach in that area. Anything where you're working one-on-one with people, not even just one-on-one. I mean, we've got a community card here. You're just meant to really, work with people. Group number 3, you are meant to work with people. And again, that could be just, you could use that in a career sense to make money. You know, I feel like people like you, unless you need it for your own balance, then that's okay. But I feel like people like you should be making, because it takes a lot of energy to engage in these ways with people, to really do the digging deep, the uncovering, the bringing healing, this intensity in a relationship or in your involvement with other people. Anyway, it takes energy, and I feel like you don't want to waste that energy on something that isn't that. But sometimes, you know, you can't just be doing this all the time. Maybe you need like a career where it's just fun and you're not using these skills that much. It's just fun for you, where it fills up your own cup, you know? And then in your personal life, you can have this role, or vice versa. You know, but I think the point that I'm trying to make here is that you need to fill your own cup to be able to give out this energy. But yeah, beautiful interpersonal skills here, beautiful being able to dig deep questions here. See, like you'd make great lawyers here, great coaches, beautiful family member, beautiful partner to have. Not for the light of heart, though. You're not for the faint of heart. If someone is in denial about themselves or the world, like, you're not the right person to come into their lives, because you're going to ask questions they're not going to like. You're going to make them look at things they're not going to like, you know? So you could get a lot of, you know, blowback in those kind of situations. But anyway, I won't go on and on. I'm going to leave your reading here. If this resonated, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.